Hi everyone, I'm Alex, this is AMRC, and today I'm very excited to unbox and show you this new airplane I got. It's a SU-35 4-channel airplane. The brand name is QF009. Some advantages I hope this will have over other jets is besides being small, light, and cheap, it should also have a pretty decent flight time. First of all, because it's a propeller-driven jet, not a ducted fan, so the prop doesn't need to spin as fast, and hopefully the battery will last longer. Also, being 2S, it should have pretty decent power. I don't know how a jet on 1S would fly, even with a prop. And it comes in this pretty neat box. Looks really good, but I think these are pictures of the full-size airplane, not the Model 1. You can see a bit of the model here. Also has LED lights, and I really like this box, although it came a bit squished here. But it does have this carry handle, just like lots of Horizon hobby planes. So let's take a look at the specifications on the box. It says here it's EPP, that's the type of foam. It should be fairly durable and repairable if you crash and break it. It has 4-channel controls. I'll get into that once I see exactly what it looks like. 2.4 gigahertz, that's the radio signal. That's also very good to have. Gyroscope, that means it will try and keep the plane level. USB special, that's probably the charging, and rolling 360 degrees. Probably you can hit a button and it will do a loop or a barrel roll. But let's get it open. Let's see. It does say here length 52.5 centimeters, wingspan 37.5, so that's pretty small. But of course it fits in this box, so it won't be very large, and it's ready to fly. So that means it comes with everything you need to get going, including the radio and batteries. Let's get it open. Okay, here it is. You get the manual. If you're new to the hobby, I highly recommend you read this. Let's see what's in here. Warnings. The parts. What's this? Forbidden. Okay, yeah, that goes for probably all electronics. Don't use them if they're hot. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we're gonna need to use some screws to get it assembled. I was hoping it would be an easier assembly so you can easily put it back in the box, but we'll see how that goes. Shows the radio. You have to put batteries. The flight pack you can charge via USB. I guess this is the charger. We'll look into that in a few seconds. And connect the battery and fly. If only it were that easy, but let's see, maybe this will make it easy. Okay, let's look at what we get in the box. This is the landing gear. Come in this little Ziploc bag. And they're fairly soft, softer than I expected. That's good, because if you use the landing gear, it won't bounce it as much on landings. And I'm guessing this is the front one. It has a bit of a spring that will help cushion your landings. Okay, here you have spare prop, screws, tiny screwdriver. It's good they give you that because you can keep it in the box. And this is the spinner and the back plate of it. Because, yeah, although it's a jet, it has a propeller in the back. Okay, there it goes. Same warning. It was in the manual. And I'll have to say it looks pretty impressive. The pictures online, especially with these Chinese brands, are kind of hard to tell sometimes exactly what you're gonna get. The nose is rubbery. Doesn't look that good, but it should help when you crash, if you crash it. The finish is pretty decent. What I don't like is these chrome exhaust tips, but these can be painted, and it looks like they have some LED lights in here. And this is the small propeller that will get it going. Okay, let's see what else. We have the vertical stabilizers, and guessing we screw in here. Fortunately, they don't have functioning rudders for yaw control, and I think that's one of the first misleading things on the box, because it's not exactly a true 4-channel. You can see it has 2 servos here. They control the ailerons and ailerons, so these move together. So it's more like a 3-channel. You have 1 channel for the throttle and another 2 channels controlling these. You can either move at the same time to get the plane to climb, descend, or if they move in opposite directions, they will get the plane to roll. And let's see the landing gear. Looks like they just pop in here. But nice plastic mounting points for it. And the front one goes here, right in front of the battery compartment. Oh, okay, and there's a battery in here. Now, I was able to get this from Banggood for $70 on sale. This is the 3 battery version. And you get 2 extra batteries in here. And this is kind of jammed in here. It'll be a bit hard to get out. That is a good thing in flight because it won't move around and affect the center of gravity. But then I'm also hoping it has a decent center of gravity from factory, because there's not much room for adjusting it unless you're using some weights. Okay, this was a bit of a stroll to get out. This is the battery connector. Okay, let's set this down and look at what else you get. These 2 batteries. They're supposed to be 700 milliamp, 2S, that means 2 Lipo cells. Okay, there's also this USB charging cable. And what you want to do is connect this to a USB source and then plug this in to this balance port to get it charged. This ensures both cells are charged and balanced at the same voltage, so one doesn't drain more than the other. And last but not least, let's see the transmitter. Okay, here it is. Really cheap feeling. And you can see you have no yaw control here on the left stick. It only goes up and down through throttle. So yeah, it's definitely not a 4-channel airplane. But for jets, usually rudders aren't used that much, so it shouldn't be a problem. On the right stick you have the ailerons and the elevator for rolling and climbing. And looks like this is the mode switch for the gyro, 3D and 6D. Usually 6D balances out the plane, so when you let go of the controls it just flies straight, or if it's pitched, banked in any way, when you let go it just pops up straight. And in 3D mode, if you roll it, it's gonna stay rolled. And see there's some buttons here for LEDs. These should be the trims. These are the rates. It should give you more or less control surface deflection. Okay, let's get a battery charged and power this thing up. Now, I don't usually show charging, but I wanted to charge the battery that was inside the airplane. This is a charger I use for these small 1-cell or 2-cell batteries. It's really nice, and I have a short review of it. I'll link it in the video. But I saw a problem because this shows the voltage. You won't get that on the charger that came with the plane. And you can see it's 6.69. That's too low. 1 cell, the first one is 3.84. That's great, but the other is 2.93. That's really low. Now let's check these other 2 batteries and see. Okay, this one 7.8. That's the correct storage voltage. 3.91, 3.91. That's great. Cells are at the same voltage. And let's check the last one as well. This one, oh, again 7.76, 3.89, 3.89. Yeah, that is good. So this one I'm going to have to watch out. Let's see if the voltage has changed. 3.83 and 3.05. That's just on the edge. You should never let Lipo cells go under 3 volts. Any circumstance, safe, I would say it's 3.3 or 3.4 volts. And always when you're charging, don't leave the charger and the batteries unattended, and use a Lipo safe back like this. If it's a small charger like this, just shove it all in here. In case of a fire, at least gives you a few seconds to unplug it, and yeah, it should protect things from fire, and also close it. Okay, let's wait till one of these is charged and see what this little airplane can do. Okay, now that I have a battery charged up, I put 4 AA's in this. Let's turn it on. That's common thing in RC. Always turn on the transmitter first and turn it off last after you've disconnected the battery in the RC. Then I'll connect this. Put the battery inside. very tight squeeze. It's pretty tight in here. Okay, it's bulging a bit, but it's in now. Okay, and let's see, many of these you need to throttle up and then down to arm it, but no, this turns on directly. Okay, so that's your throttle. You can see it starts rolling, and these be the ailerons that are going to roll the plane and the elevator. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It should start out in 6G mode, yeah, and that what it does, if you don't give it any commands, it's gonna deflect the surfaces to get it to fly straight. You can hear the servos moving, trying to compensate. Then if you flip it, you see it tries to flip it over. Then if you push this switch, it does compensate for wind, but it won't try to flip the plane over. This is me moving it now. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as controls. Let's see what this rate button does. So this is the deflection right now. Don't see any change. Okay, that's interesting. And it looks like you can change the LEDs. Not really a fan of these, especially because they're red and blue. Okay, you can get them pulsing. I don't know if the camera really picks that up. Or steady. Let's see. They don't change with throttle, but looks like you can also turn them off. Let's see, 1 second. Okay, that's more like it. Yeah, so there's not that much to it. It does look nice, except those LEDs and exhausts. And let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, it's a jet. Everyone wants to fly a jet, not a Cub, because jets are way cooler. But this is not a true jet because it has a propeller. But the advantage to this, propellers are more forgiving, and usually they react a lot quicker than a ducted fan. And I'll show you a few other alternatives on different ends of the spectrum, this kind of being the middle ground. Also, one thing to be careful of, I usually like to use the landing gear, but this one is not steerable, so you don't have any control over it once it's rolling, especially since it has no rudders or anything else. So unless it tracks straight, or you don't have any paved area to take off from, you might want to hand launch it. And always be careful with your fingers around the prop. Also, it's smart to always disconnect the battery when you're not using it, because you can easily bump the throttle and it can start rolling. If your fingers or someone else's are around the propeller, it can be very dangerous. The motor is pretty powerful, it's brushless, and it can give you some really nasty cuts. As I said, I'm going to show you the alternatives if you want to fly a jet. On the lower end, you have this FX620. It's also supposed to be an SU-35, and you can see they're a bit similar, but not that much. This is much smaller, and it has no movable control surfaces. No, this is a 2-channel plane. Has these little brushed motors here on the wings, and all the control is done through these. So if you power up, it's going to climb. If you reduce throttle, it's going to go down. And if you go left and right, one of the motors is going to spin faster and point the airplane left or right. So this is very basic, but it flies really well. You can also get some LEDs for it, have fun at night or in low light. I don't recommend it if you're just starting out flying. This also has some attachable landing gear, and you can get these for about $20 on AliExpress or Banggood or other online retailers. I think even on Amazon. They're not anyway professional hobby grade airplane, but they can get you started in the hobby. You can see if you enjoy flying. It's not going to give you the full experience of flying an airplane, but it's going to give you an idea. And on the opposite end of the price range, talking about small airplanes, you can see this is not much bigger, but it's the E-Flight A10 UMX, and this is a ducted fan, so it has these little fans here that try to act like a jet engine. There are RC airplanes with real jet engines, but those can be really expensive and of course totally not suitable for a beginner. And you can get these ducted fan planes in various sizes. This is on the smaller end. It's still around I think $150, $180, but this doesn't come with a radio, with a battery, a charger. You have to buy all those things separately. So if you're new to the hobby, it's probably not as easy to fly, and it's going to run you a lot more just to get in the air. But this has the full 4 channels. It has the ailerons, the elevator, and the rudders, all functional, plus of course the motors to give it thrust. Now, why I think this might be fun, with the ducted fans, these have to spin, being so small, they have to spin at really high speeds, and it takes a while until they get the thrust to move the plane fast. And also you have to, depending on the airframe, this one is pretty forgiving and it glides relatively well for a jet, but it does take a while to get that punchiness to take you out of tight situations. So this is this comes in. That's why I really wanted to try it. The propeller should have a faster response in the air and get you moving a lot faster in tight situations. So this is it. I'm pretty pleased with it. There are some details I'm not that happy about. This nose cone kind of looks bad, but maybe I can paint it. Although I think with this rubbery material, it will probably chip off. Again, these plastic chrome exhaust tips are not really my thing, but maybe I can get some paint on those. And of course the prop that doesn't make it look that good on the ground, but in the air I promise it will be almost invisible. The underside is bright blue. That might not be the best thing when it's in the air, but I think they wanted to reproduce the real one. As you can see, they did a pretty good job at reproducing the real airplane. Looks very similar in colors. And yeah, so it's not perfect. It has some flaws. And what bugs me the most is it says it's 4-channel, but it's not. The transmitter, again, it's not great, but it's better than other of these cheap airplanes I've had. Has good weight to it, and these are a bit tight and springy. I like them. but for the price you get 3 batteries. You get this small little charger, so if you're just getting started you can easily get in the air. But as I showed earlier, I would recommend upgrading to a dedicated Lipo charger that can give you information about your batteries, and you can make sure they're balanced, because they can be really dangerous. So if you've stuck along this far, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video with hopefully a successful flight of this. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to like, leave some comments if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time in the air. Bye.